recorded this a few years ago for Dr. Mix's 80s challenge, and some of you asked me for a tutorial, so here it is. Let me just reset the scene and let's talk about the sounds. This is a simple setup. It's not a complicated setup by any means. We have 4 synth sounds and 1 drum kit. Okay. In the first zone, we have the JP pad. And this is using Jupiter 8 sawtooth samples, which come preloaded into the Fantom. This is the Zen Core sound engine, by the way. And you can see the filter here. I'm using the Jupiter filter. Zen Core is the native built-in synth sound engine from the Roland Fantom, and it's fantastic, very versatile. You can see that I have Jupiter filter, Moog filter, Prophet 5 filter. It's fantastic. Now in the second zone, we have the JP sweep, the main sound. I think it's filtered or no. This is pretty good. The third zone, we have the bass. In the fourth zone, the JP brass. This is a fast attacking brass sound. You know, it doesn't take that long for it to attack. Those are the synth sounds. And on the last zone here, the 8th zone, I have the drum kit. Now let me go back to the first zone. Actually, I'm going to reset the scene one more time and go straight into the pattern sequencer. You can see that I have 5 clips here, and that's all we're going to record. 5 clips, 3 drum clips and 2 drum clips. When I recorded the challenge, I had a time restriction of 80 seconds, so I had to do it pretty fast. I'm going to do it very slowly now, explaining every part, every step of the process, okay? So let me clean this up by going to pattern utility, delete all, okay? Let's begin with the drums. Because the beginning is the pad and the drums, and you are actually going to play the pad, you should begin by programming the drums. Now I'm going to go into TR rack mode. This is fantastic. I love this with my life. This is what the Yamaha Montage doesn't have. This is what the Kronos doesn't have. Thank you, Roland. You guys are fantastic. This is a 16-step grid, and you can scale it to just 1/4, which is all of the downbeats. I mean, all of the beats in a measure, you know. You have 4 beats. You set it to 8th notes, you have downbeats and upbeats. If you set it to 1/16, you get downbeats, upbeats, and the subdivisions in between, you know. Most of the time, we're going to be using 1/16 so that we can see 16th notes and we get the full extent of this. Not the full extent because you can do much more than this, but anyway, I'm going to select the ride cymbal because the song starts with the ride cymbal sound. This is not the best ride cymbal sound in the world, but anyway, if I just select it, I can lay it down on the timing here on the grid, and the pattern is tick tickety 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 tickety. Very simple pattern of tick tickety tick, you know. And we can see the green line showing the marker going by each step. So this is kind of like a step sequencer, you know. You can use it to record keyboards and bass sounds, pads, lead sounds, but to me it's more aimed at drums. I only use it for drums. Let's keep going. What's fantastic about TR is that you can lay down the steps here for a piece of the kit, and you don't have to go into a menu and select another piece and then hit select to select the other piece. All you have to do is hit the other parts of the kit, and now we have the step here for this specific piece of the kit. So I clicked on the kick drum and I can lay down the kicks on the 2nd and the 4th beat. Very simple, but if you pay close attention, we also get open and close hi-hats here. So, right in the middle. Okay, that's the first clip. Now let's move on to the second one. Select the second clip, TRX mode, and this is the part. So I'm gonna start with the kick, and I'm gonna lay down on beats 1 and 4 here. 4 is the last subdivision of the first beat. These aren't down beats, you know, it's not bim bum 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 bum. It's bim. I'm gonna mirror this on the crash. Let's see what it sounds like. But you see how it's looping just this part, you know. We also want the da-na-na. This is only 1 bar, 4 beats. We want 2 bars, so I can increase the length here, 2. And by the way, when you increase the length of bars, you can see each individual bar here on top. Very easily accessible. I'm gonna choose the second bar, choose the kick, lay down on the downbeats, crash as well. 1, 5, 9. By the way, it's set to 4. Let me set it back to 2. That's all we need. Let's see. Okay. Now, what I didn't create for the 80s challenge is the ta-da. We get 2 snares and 2 hi-hats right before the end. And I didn't have time to do that, so I didn't do that. But some of you probably catch that. Now, where are these beats? I'm going to select the snare. And if you nod your head along with the music, you're going to notice that the second snare hit is right on the downbeat. So the second snare hit is on the downbeat. So the second snare hit is right on 13. The first one is right before it. And then we get 2 hi-hats here to wrap it up. Second clip is done. Now let's move on to the third one, which is the main one. TRX, let's begin with the hi-hats. Same pattern of tiggity, 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 tiggity. Very simple pattern of kicks on all the downbeats, 4 on the floor. Now we get snare on the second and fourth beats. And we get a clap on the fourth beat. Oh. I accidentally hit it softly, and this is nice because it prompts me to explain that this picks up the velocity which you input. So if I hit the clap very hard and I lay it down there, this orange line here represents the velocity. So if I hit it softly and set one right next to it, you see this is a soft clap, this is a hard clap. If I hit it very softly, you see, this is fantastic if you want to recreate more humanized drum machine sounds. I'm not going to talk so much about this in this specific class. I'm going to talk more about this on the What is Love class. But anyway, clap, strong clap on the fourth beat. Let's see what it sounds like. Now the icing on the cake of this drum beat is we have an open hi-hat right at the end. So I'm going to select the close hi-hat, take this last hit off, and add an open hi-hat here. Check it out. Perfect. By the way, have you ever heard about the Nabucodonosor? Subscribe to the channel. Yes, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Yes, subscribe to the channel. Yes. Those are the 3 drum clips. Now let's move on to the bass. I'm going to select the B row here, B3. This is the second clip for the bass. It's the first clip we're going to record, but I mean it's the second because it's on the second row. And this is because I want to trigger the second drum clip along with it. This pad mode is pad mode number 10, variation play. I don't see many people using this, but it's pretty convenient for the pattern sequencer. You see how we have white and teal? We have white and teal here. These pads trigger the A, B, C, and D rows, and these pads trigger the E, F, G, H rows. So if I want to trigger everything that's on the B row, I can just hit 5 and so on. So I hit number 5 because I want to select the second drum clip to play along with the bass. Now I'm going to record the bass. So I could use TREC, but it would take longer, frankly. Like I said, TREC is more aimed at drums. You can use it to record bass and keyboards, but to me, to record this, it would take longer using TREC. So I'm just going to do a live recording. Now, I like to think that there are 2 ways we can do this recording. We can go into rec standby and hit play. It's going to count in 1 measure and then it's going to start recording. Or we can first hit play, then go into rec standby and then start recording. I prefer doing this most of the time because this gives us a feeling of a more fluid sequencer. You know, I don't have to stop record, stop record, stop record. I can just keep recording on top of it. Rec standby is fantastic. You can see all of the options that we have here. You can switch between 1 measure, 2 or weights notes for the count in. You can set input quantize. This is like an automatic quantization of your mistakes. The tempo, you can change the tempo here. The length of the recording. If you want to record a long clip, you can increase the length here. I just want to record 4. I don't remember if it's 4 or 2. We'll see in a moment. And here we have destination. So track 3, this is the third zone, right? Destination B, that's on the second row there. And we have mix and new. New, it's because we're recording a new clip. Mix is if we wanted to overdub. We already have bass clip with a few notes, but if you want to overdub it and keep stacking things, you can use this mix option here. I'm going to go to new and let's just try it. But I want to record it while it's playing. So I'm going to stop to get out of that rec standby, hit play so that I can hear the drum beat, go into rec standby. Then when I hit play, it's not going to start recording right away. It's going to start recording at the head of the next beat. This is fantastic. Pay attention how I'm going to hit play to start recording a little early. But that's too long, right? Look at all that empty space. So what I'm going to do is just hit undo and do it again. Play, record standby, set it to 2 bars of length and do it again. Little early, right? So undo and let's do it one more time. Better. That's the first bass clip. Now the second one, let me trigger the other drum clip. Rec standby. Now this bass clip I'm going to record is only 1 bar of length because it's just the don don da 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 ba. So let me just set it to 1 here and let's record. And that's all we need. Now go back to the pad, select the first one and this is the problem if you don't trigger the next part. Now I did this on purpose because if you don't set up groups and songs, you are going to have to trigger each individual section of the song. But if you go to group, you can group different clips together and then you can build a song where you have the different groupings set however you like. And if I did this, then I don't have to keep triggering the different parts. I can just hit play and Alright, so that's it for Thriller. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, yes, subscribe, and consider watching this video next.